What is up, guys? Fadeaway82 coming at you with a weekly Rust update video. Weapon attachments in Rust have received a lot of love this week. Overall, your favorite weapon attachments will cost you about half less to craft, so they'll be a little more accessible. And two new weapon attachments have been added in, being a Muzzle Boost and a Muzzle Brake. The boost is what we're taking a look at first, and this feeds some of the gases rather back into the weapon, forcing it to cycle or fire faster. This is going to cost you 10 high quality metal, and it's going to be a non-default blueprint. What this equates to for the Rust player experience is a higher rate of fire with less accuracy and a reduction to bullet velocity. It's great for close quarter battles, and if you have a pray and spray type playstyle, it's going to be great and a nice complement to that. In terms of the weapons that it's going to be the best on, it's going to be weapons that you want to increase their rate of fire. This, in terms of the two attachments, was the one I found myself using more, and I think you guys will find some application for this. The other one that we're going to take a look at is going to be the Muzzle Brake. This will essentially allow you to stay on target longer by reducing the recoil felt by the person using the weapon. So it has an increased cone of fire at the expense of that though, and that means that you're going to keep your sights on target, but your bullets aren't going to always land where you're aiming. This also will be a non-default blueprint, and it's going to cost 8 high quality metal, so a little bit less, and really this is going to be used for recoil reduction. In terms of using this, it was an item that I found to be wildly unpredictable in terms of where the bullets were going to land. We're taking a look at some shots here with an M249 through one of the 4X scopes, and you can see even better here against the backdrop of the stone wall that we're aiming dead center for center mass for this player and also for the head in this instance, and we're not landing the shots. In a moment, we're going to switch over and we're going to be firing the same weapon, which is a semi-auto rifle, without that muzzle brake on it, and notice how the shots land differently. It's day and night here, so I'm not sure if right now this is going to be something you guys are going to want to use till it's tweaked a little bit more, because this is a still target. It's something that's not moving, and that's not usually the case in Rust, but if we can't hit something standing still, it's going to be even harder to hit it when it's moving. In terms of reducing some of that, it did appear to be a little bit better when I attached the laser sight to it, so the weapon attachments did seem to complement each other a little bit. And as we wind down and take a look at the difference in the recoil rate on the AK-47 with the muzzle boost, I just wanted to say that the attachments will feel different overall due to some changes in sort of an error in the code that was fixed. So you're going to notice that the weapon attachments are going to be, for better or worse, feeling much different this go around in Rust, and really can't wait to hear your feedback on that. Go ahead and please leave that in the comments, what you guys think of the new changes to the feel of the weapon attachments overall. So the other big change is that the map has changed with the next iteration of the procedurally generated terrain. I would say that typically this would be one of the changes that is not that noticeable, but it certainly is very noticeable. It's not really subtle because you're going to see a lot more dungeons or rad town areas populating the landscape. They appear to be about doubled, and that's really good because less players will be walling them off. There'll be more access to items, and for the higher pop servers, that's going to be much better overall. It was really cool seeing those, and there were different variations, and that was something that was really good to see. You're going to see that road placement's a bit more natural this go around in Rust, and some of the skins for those dungeon areas have been polished a bit more here. We have a bird's nest here, a sniper's nest, crow's nest rather, with some bird shit all over it, which looks really beautiful. Also, this week in Rust, there have been some changes to the way that building functions, specifically when buildings are placed now. Each individual building will have to be placed 2 world lengths apart, and what that's going to essentially equate to is down the road some changes where they're going to make the building system function differently so that you can't use some of the exploits you're using right now. This isn't going to necessarily fix wall stacking, but it is a step in that direction, and there's going to be some overhauls to that building system, and this is laying the groundwork for that, and that's something that is really important, so we'll see that evolve pretty soon. We took a look in the dev blog at some corpse rot, and if you want to check it out more in depth with a gnarly penis, go ahead and check out the dev blog, and you can see that a little bit more. You can actually see that penis decay if that's something that you're into. Not really my thing necessarily, but the corpse rot is awesome overall. We saw the next progression to the thrown items in the game, so you'll have a little more control over throwing your items, and this isn't ready to go live yet. It's going to have to happen when all the items are ready to be thrown this way, and that's probably going to be a couple wipe cycles out, but really cool to see. We saw another look at a heavy armor set with a pan helmet here that I thought was absolutely badass. And Helk has been balls deep in the experience system trying to get that squared away, and he's made a lot of progress. If you guys want to try it out, switch over to the pre-release branch under your Steam properties for Rust and hop on over. Pretty soon in Rust, some rations will be washing up on the shore, and it's one step closer to reality because we now see that 3D model. As always, guys, really hope you enjoyed this week's Rust video. As always, Fatal82, peace.